Hello, at-home students, it's Miss Moore. We are back with more dividing with unit fractions. Yesterday, we did a whole number divided by a unit fraction. Today, we're going to do the exact opposite, a unit fraction divided by a whole number. So we're going to watch another one of the interactive visual learnings from our textbook to get us started.
How can you model dividing a unit fraction by a whole number? Let's look at a couple different ways.
This cornbread can help show us some ways, and it's delicious too. Yum!
Half a pan of cornbread is left over. Anne, Beth, and Chuck are sharing the leftovers equally. What fraction of the original cornbread does each person get? One way. Use a model to show 1/2 of the cornbread. What does the model represent?
So hopefully you're thinking that the model represents 1/2. You can see that the pan is only half full. It probably had, been completely full of cornbread, but now half of it is gone.
The model represents the leftover cornbread that will be shared equally among 3 people. What do you need to divide to find how much cornbread each person gets? Divide the shaded side into 3 equal parts because each person gets an equal share. What division expression represents this problem?
All right, so it's on the screen, so there's not much mystery here. It's 1/2 divided by 3.
Since you have to divide 1/2 into 3 equal parts, the division expression that represents this problem is 1/2 divided by 3. If you divide the cornbread that's left into 3 parts, how much of the whole cornbread does each person get?
So when they're asking that, they want to know what fraction of all the cornbread that we had to start with. So if we look at the whole pan, how many equal pieces is it broken into? Well, if you count, there's 2 on the top, 2 in the middle, 2 on the bottom. That's a total of 6. So if we've got 1/2 divided by 3, that's going to be 1/6.
1/2 divided by 3 equals 1/6. Each part contains 1/6 of the whole. Use multiplication to check your answer. 3/6 equals 1/2, which is the fraction of the cornbread being divided. Each person gets 1/6 of the cornbread. How does the diagram help you find the quotient? The diagram shows the number of sixths in the whole pan. You can count the number of sixths to find the quotient. How many sixths are in 1/2 of the cornbread? There are 3 sixths in 1/2 of the cornbread. Another way, use a number line. Shade 1/2 on the number line. Divide 1/2 into 3 equal parts. Why do you divide 1/2 into 3 equal parts? Because the problem asks you to find out how much of the original cornbread each of the 3 people will get. 1/2 divided by 3. Each part is 1/6. 1/2 divided by 3 equals 1/6. Each person gets 1/6 of the cornbread. Now you know how to divide a unit fraction by a whole number.
Okay, so it's as easy as that. Hopefully we can take that and apply that to some other numbers. Let's look at some problems here. So we've got this model, and we're taking 1/4 and we're dividing it into different pieces, and then later we'll divide 1/2. So in the first 2 problems, we're talking about 1/4. So, whoops, goodness, thought I had it on brush. So 1/4 would be like this section here, or it could be any of the 4 sections, but it's only one of the 4 sections. And we would divide it into 2 pieces. So here's a trick when you've got models and you're dividing by a whole number. If you've got a unit fraction, you're dividing by a whole number. Since the lines we already have are vertical, they're up and down, we want to draw this new line where we divide it in half. Let's see, I'm going to choose a different color. We want, whoa, I thought I was using the line tool and I wasn't. So sorry that line's not straight, but it'll be fine. So we want this line to be horizontal or, side to side. And that way it helps us like visualize a little better. So now if we took this 1/4 and we cut it into 2 pieces, what fraction of this whole, and the whole is of course going to be the entire rectangle, the outer rectangle, what fraction is half of 1/4? So we've got one part out of how many equal parts here? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4 on top and 5, 6, 7, 8 on bottom. So the answer to number 1 would be 1/8. Okay. The next problem it wants us to do is 1/4 divided into 4 pieces. So instead of drawing one line across this time, let me go ahead and change colors just for clarity's sake. So there's 1, but we're going to have to divide this in half and this in half. I know those are not equal, but we're gonna imagine that they are equal, right? Okay. So if we had 1/4, which would be, this part here, and then we divide it into 4 pieces, what part of the original whole do we now have? So I'm going to go ahead and shade it in. So we have 1 piece out of, well, there are 4 here. This brings us to 8. This brings us to 12. This brings us to 16. So we have 1/16. Hopefully you are seeing a pattern. When we had 1/8 over here, there's a pattern here. You can take the denominator and the whole number and multiply them, and that's going to be your new denominator, and you're going to have 1 as your numerator. So same thing over here. 4 times 4 is 16, and we get 1 as our numerator. Let's see if this works. Let me get everything erased here. No, she is a 6th grader, so she's, I don't know, don't know which one. Excuse me, I had to talk to Mr. Prospect for just a second. Very hardworking man, probably delivering a laptop if I had to guess. All right, so where'd my mouse go? There it is. Let me get these lines up here. We're working with 1/2 this time. So our model is in fourths, and we want to change that. Let's go for red this time. So we're working with half. So we're looking at 2 of these pieces, right? It takes 2 pieces to make the half. And we're going to divide it into 2 pieces. So we're going to go back to putting this line across like this. And so if I had half and I divide it into 2 pieces, so this is the part, this is the one part we're talking about, cut into 2. So what part of the whole is this? Well, this is 2 pieces out of 8, or if I wanted to put that in simplest form, that would be 1/4, because I could think of it as 1 piece here, 1 piece here, 3rd piece here, 4th piece here. So I have 1 out of the 4 pieces. Hopefully that makes sense. And then you can see the pattern keeps up. 2 times 2 is 4, and we end up with 1/4. All right, and lastly, we have 1/2 divided into 4 equal pieces. So let's go for purple. Why not? I'm feeling a little TCU-ish right now. All right, so we're looking at 1/2, and we want to divide it into 4 equal pieces. Since our original lines are vertical, we're going to go horizontal this time. So 1, 2, and 3. Did a little better that time. That top line is a little iffy though, I know. All right, so if I've got 1, let's see, 1/2 divided by into 4, I've got this right here. So I've got 2 out of 16, or if I think of it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups, I have 1 out of 8. And you can, put 2/16 in simplest form, you'll see that it's 1/8. And our pattern holds up. If we did 2 times 4, we would get 8, and our numerator would be 1. Okay, I know that was a long explanation, but there is a pattern here. Now, what you're going to do is go over to, or read what I put in the Canvas page below this, and it'll tell you you're going to import some more pages from you're going to go to your math notebook, and you're going to import slides from my math notebook, and it'll tell you which slides to import, and then you can solve the problems there. So be sure you email me in Canvas inbox if you have any questions. Thank you.